I want to, since we got Bobby on the show, I want to, you know what, let's talk to you, my man. Because I met you basically through fighting games in a speedrunning place. I want to know, how did you get in a fighting game?
That's a really long-winded question.
Hey.
No.
We got time. We got all the time in the world, baby.
Whenever I'm asked a question like that, I'm just like thinking like when did I actually get into? Because I've always had like a penchant for like hitting buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Like since
who didn't?
Yeah, it's like I was born in '93, so I grew up like right in like the kind of like mid years of like Super Nintendo. So all the action games like already like came out, were like so refined. X2, Mega Man X3 was already out. He had like so many home console ports of like Street Fighter. Killer Instinct was like one of my favorites for the SNES, even though I was I was raised in a pretty religious spectrum. So like as soon as my parents saw me playing Killer Instinct, they're like, "This is like." They saw like Idol. I got to the final boss. They saw Idol, and they were like, "Dude, that's the devil. Let's get it out of here."
You had to close that out quick, kid.
As a kid, I was soft banned from playing Killer Instinct, but I did get to play like a whole bunch of like Street Fighter and a whole bunch of like Alpha 2. There was like a wash and dry like right down the street. So like in that, I don't know why this was the case in like the late 90s, but like every like wash and dry had like just like one random arcade cabinet that was like a really cool fighting game. Like I know one had like Mortal Kombat 4. Another in my case had like Alpha 2. So especially like loved that. But I didn't start actually like going out until like traveling the fighting games until like maybe like 2008, 2009. I ended up finding like a community on not even like Shoryuken, but it was on Dustloop because I was a fan of Guilty Gear at the time, like Guilty Gear, Double Cross or X2 for the PlayStation 2. Then X and Core already came out. I'm like, I had already like grown up like a huge fan of like anime fighting games and like heavy metal. I'm like, this is like great. This is amazing.
Yeah, this is everything I've ever wanted right here.
Yeah, like if AceUhh hadn't turned you guys on to Guilty Gear, is super amazing. Especially back in like the olden days with like the pixelated sprites, like how like beautiful everything was. Like it just like reminded me of the Mega Man X action games for like the PlayStation, just like how over the top everything was, but in a fighting game sense, and everything just controlled so smoothly. So I started traveling like for that. Ended up getting fucking mobbed in Guilty Gear. I obviously did not have like any semblance of what I was doing. These guys were not only like older than me, but like wiser. Like they knew what like matchups and frame data and all that stuff. I was over here playing EX mode, Testament, and Guilty Gear X mode. Like I was having fun with it. Like I was having like a lot of fun with it. So I thought. Ended up getting mopped. It was disgracing, but it was obviously humbling. So like,
I think everyone that plays fighting games has that moment where you show up to that offline event and you just get destroyed, and you just kind of get woken up real quick on the idea of, do I really want to do this? Is this gonna be it? Was that fun enough?
That's kind of like make or break, especially for like something as quick as a fighting game. When it comes to like League of Legends and like Fortnite, not Fortnite. Let's take League of Legends as an example, where it's like a game is literally an hour of your time per day, a single match, and like throughout that single match could be a whole bunch of mistakes or be a whole bunch of calls that win you the game in under 20 minutes. Sure. A fighting game round is 99 seconds at probably max. For Dragon Ball, it's like 5 minutes, but like that's
that's a whole set right there.
That's a whole Frieza saga. That's a whole Toonami Tombit. That's all that shit. So in that 99-second burst, like things could just happen.
Yep.
You don't even know what could just happen, but like you can go from 100 to 0. Like extremely punishing, but like and this is kind of like the thing with like speedrunning as well, and like I kind of like got into these things at the same time, whereas like the better that you do, the more rewarding that it feels, and especially for a game like Guilty Gear, which I kind of like came into and like found like a whole competitive like collective community in my backyard. Like the whole thought of like getting better and like being consistent and improving was amazing. Yeah. Like that was it. Like I don't care how hard this game was, but I have like people here like willing to like get up and make me better.
Yeah.
Naturally. Ended up dropping out of Guilty Gear because holy shit, do I suck at that game.
That shit's hard, man.
2009 comes out, Street Fighter 4. All right, let's fucking get it.
Let's fucking go.
Let me mash the jab sweep, and no. Street Fighter 4 sucked. I'm sorry. So in comes 2010. Capcom presents Marvel Comics.
There it is.
Now, I had been Michael. I know you could share the same sentiment as I do, but right around this time where I was into the fighting game community, Marvel 2, like the Dark Ages. Let's go over the Dark Ages a little bit. Like CVS 2, Third Strike, Marvel 2, all excellent games. All had really great, close knit, competitive communities and all that stuff, but especially since traveling was so scarce back then, and the age of information had already had like only just begun to like we had only just begun to like take advantage of like streaming services and recording only 10 years ago. Yeah, the fact that like this was just about to like blow up, and like we were in like an age of potential, like post Dark Ages. Yeah. But it's extremely hard to get into a game like Marvel 2 like now, especially when like there are people with like at least 20 years of experience.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just insane. Marvel 3 comes out though. Everyone loves it. It's online, it's on new consoles, familiar faces. It's back. The feeling is back. And this is like the time where I just actually like started traveling and getting into like fighting games and like, seeing like the world outside of like Ohio. Like Marvel 3 was like, I will actually like refer to Marvel 3 a lot because like that is like a huge part of like just like who I am, who I befriended, the circles that I keep around me right now.
Yeah,
but like it's an amazing game, and traveling for that, like by myself or like carpooled with like like other people to like meet all these other strangers, but like we just play video games, like fighting games. And we're kind of damn decent at it. Like that was like kind of like the golden ages for me, man. Like, that was like the golden years.
Yeah. All right. Well, tell us a little bit more about that Marvel 3 though, baby.
So Marvel 3, 2010 to 2011. The Midwest was actually like an extremely good scene for like Ultimate Marvel 3. We've had a whole bunch of East Coast experiences, Midwest experiences. Shout outs to like UFGT. Shout outs to Seasons Beatings. Shout outs to even like the Indiana boys, Nober, Net Battles. But anyways,
wait, Bobby, did you go to UFGT 10?
Yeah,
I was there too.
Were you?
Didn't even know each other. Yeah.
No, I was I was like a hair shy of like a top 32, but like me going to UFGTX was like completely on a whim, and it was like one of the greatest experiences.
That was one of the years where I literally went to like every major just to play Tekken, but to meet a bunch of new people and shit like that. That year was like insane. 2014 was like I went to so many fucking events that year.
And like shout outs to like UFGT and like Combo Breaker for like adopting like a like what 24-hour venue.
Oh yeah.
So we just like get in the games like because like like no one ever sleeps at these events. Like the things about I've transitioned from like going to fighting game events like on the monthly to like going to GDQ events on the yearly, and like the fact that like a fighting game event only takes place in 2 days fucking baffles me. There are not enough hours in the world for like 2 or 3 days to get in that grind time or get in that like bonding, that camaraderie. That's why I love the 24-hour venue. because like I'm not gonna sleep through any of these events. It's 4 a.m. Someone's gonna be pressing buttons.
That's why I enjoy Evo so much, because whenever I go to Evo, Vash will know, like literally, like we'll get through the day. My feet are killing me, but I'm gone. I'm going to somebody else's room. They got games going on up there. They got like people are drinking over here. People are down to the casino hanging out, and it's just all fighting game heads all around. And you just fucking get to hang out and bull all night long for those 2 nights. Like that's why Evo's fucking a fun ass time. Like Vash sits in the anime suite screaming at the bottom of the elevator, looking for people.
That's sick as fuck, dude. I can't,
chilling with Giuna, hanging out.
I'm so salty.
I don't know how like
fucking anime suite this year.
Yeah,
I don't feel like I would be upset if there wasn't a 24-hour venue. Like that's when I like to like I don't like being around huge crowds and shit. So like 24-hour like all my venues are fucking so nice because like it's a way more chill atmosphere after hours, but you can still go there and meet people, hang out, and, like fucking play games and shit.
Yeah, because it's like only the only the people that mash buttons at the 24-hour venue like will be there to mash buttons. Like they're not around to like bullshit or anything. That's why I like you'll be able to like get that in without like having without the interruptions, without the top players, without the, like oh hey what a money match or like this is setup taken and like anything like that.
Daytime shit. That's what's trippy about it though. Like you bring up a good point. A lot of the degeneracy and distracting shit happens in like the daytime.
Yeah.
After hours, it's just people that actually just want to be there and have fun and play games. It's a much different vibe.
Yeah, like you have.
I loved being at the GDQ venue at late night.
I think
that shit was like chill as fuck.
I honestly feel like that's why at GDQs all of our sleep schedules go from like normal standard to us going to bed at 9 o'clock in the morning. We gotta go get that. We gotta go get that AM breakfast real quick. All right, shit, that was a great food. Let's go to bed, y'all.
Complimentary breakfast at GDQ.
Yes. Oh no. They were the best food you ever ate in your goddamn life, Bobby.
Fucking word.
They were the best shit.
Give me the taters. Give me the.
Someone should be arrested for those fucking potatoes. And it didn't help. It didn't help that like my most vivid memory of a GDQ breakfast is sitting at a table eating the most dry ass fucking desert potatoes, while Bash is screaming over on this side talking about Naruto, and Ace is on this side of me talking about Bleach, and I actually wanted to kick the stool.
No, like it's even better when they give you the salsa, the house-made salsa that's actually just marinara. There's no spice to it whatsoever.
Hey, that's good, dude.
No,
marinara good.
but not
breakfast salsa. Son.
God, oh, good. GDQs are great, man.
GDQs
but go ahead.
Hey, at least you didn't order Denny's and then they didn't bring you a fucking Grand Slam.
You were so sad.
How do you forget an entire Grand Slam?
Florida.
That's like 5 items that you just fucking forgot. You would think you would at least remember
why are you
the
so
egg.
pressed? You only eat cheese anyway.
It wasn't my Grand Slam, so I'm not that like I'm upset for my boy.
It's on principle, you know.
I still got my pancakes.
Ain't about me, it's about the people.
It's about you gotta take care of those around you. Denny's is not doing that.
At the very least, you don't try to convert people to your ways. And for that, I'm thankful.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I wanted to tell you, I had a slice of pineapple pizza over the week. Yeah,
I've never had it before.
No, I had it. I just tried it again because, like raw tomato and raw onion, I'll try shit that I don't fuck with every once in a while to see if my tastes have changed. Hell, fucking no, that stuff ain't real. Right, go next. Go next.
Did you have bacon with it?
Fair.
I'll still always order it for you though.
I'm telling you, dude, bacon pineapple.
Bacon? I thought it was like ham pineapple is popular. I never heard of bacon.
No, fuck ham pineapple. That's stupid as shit. Bacon pineapple is the real shit.
Okay, dude. Shit.
It's an aggressive opinion, all right.
It's
also like the same animal, but okay.
Isn't it like pineapple ham and then cinnamon too?
I've never heard of cinnamon.
I've seen Cinnamon on it before too.
What the
I don't know what y'all. I don't know what information is being spread.
I live in Florida. They do some wild shit here, right?
That's true.
It's fair. It's fair. All right, so Marvel 3, you started fucking going events for Marvel 3.
Oh, I started going to events. I started getting loud as Evo points.
Oh yeah.
Met up with a whole bunch of people, and that's where I got to fall into the league with a whole bunch of like the East Coast. I got to meet and like basically have a crack session with like Yipes, some of the EMP boys, some of the East Coast boys, Matrix, Jago when he was around. And that was like literally it. Like the fact that like I was able to just kind of like fall in the league with like those guys. I play like a pretty like kind of like weird team. Like when you talk about Marvel vs. Capcom 3, you hear everyone talking about like, oh god, Virgil this, oh god, Zero that, oh god, more Doom, oh god. I played Captain America. I just started hitting people with shields back and forth. I played Captain America, Storm, and Sentinel, like a pretty basic kind of like mix snap and incoming heavy team. Sentinel's got like drones. Storm's got a really nice DHC super. Actually, there was like a little piece of tech found where if you do like a team hyper combo with like a really fast starting up super or like an animation, like Storm's Hailstorm, you can actually make that like a one frame startup and like be invincible to anything because you have like Captain America in the front, which is projectile invincible. Then you had the Hailstorm, which was like covering everywhere. So it was like really safe approach. People like did not know how to like deal with it, which is like pretty cool. So
that's the best part when people don't know how to deal with something. Hell yeah.
He's like, man, how do I do it? And you're just like,
I don't know, bro. You gotta figure that out.
Well, that's why you would have to like in games like that, you have to. It's like, what do I do about this? It's not so much of like, okay, well, you should block this way. It's more so like, you remember about a minute and a half ago where you super jumped in this direction?
Yeah,
I can trace everything back to that because because a lot of things led to you being in this situation, and it's like, homie, if you're in that situation, well, it's like this is how this game's gonna play out. Sometimes it's just like, oh, I hate this unblockable. It's like, well, avoid that situation the best you can. If they successfully put you in that situation, then the reward is they get to do some stupid shit on you.
They do
so
absolutely nutty shit.
Yeah,
or just be a master of your craft. Like people were complaining about Dark Phoenix after a while. Like level 5 Dark Phoenix, completely like unblockable transformation. In comes a Japanese player using level 5 Frank West, using an invincible dodge past the transformation. She's in the air. He uses the invincible anti-air super and just choke slams her. Like
that was godlike. That was fucking godlike.
And that's it. And people are like, what? Do that? I mean, that guy did. There's a whole bunch of like reflections.
No one played Chun-Li in that game forever, and then Ryan LV was like, "Yeah, Chun-Li's actually fucking nasty."
Yeah,
that's what I love about games like Marvel. Like in contrast to Marvel 2, almost like 99% of the characters work.
Yeah,
Marvel 2, 99% of the characters don't work.
As much as the narrative didn't want you to believe that, like the game eventually showed you that, like the narrative of people want you to believe like you have to play Virgil or you have to play fucking Zero, you gotta play Doctor Doom, but it's like no, you can really play a lot of shit in that game and it'll just work.
And I think that's partly because like inside of the game and out, Marvel 3 was a lot of just like the OG FGC's baby. Like especially for those that like the hyper fighters, because like if you look at like various pieces of the game, even the strategy guides were written by a whole bunch of like high level Marvel 3, high level Marvel 2 players.
That was a big thing at that time. That was really
it was
really
because
prominent.
like Street Fighter 4 brought all this shit back, brought fighting games onto people's home consoles with all this online and all that stuff. So like that was like such a perfect time to like just let out all this information for everyone to digest. That way, like the people who want to actually digest it and like take the game seriously or like play it, be engaged in the community, can do so. You can also, you can also enjoy it to like a a casual aspect, because like that's what games are. You play them to have fun, but also like if you wanted something to blow up as big as the fighting game community had, like you had to have like taken the advantage like that, like because when you're competing with PC games at that point, and all these first person shooters and you know Quake, Call of Duty, and like all that, you know, CS, because those are the games that people are playing at home at the current moment. You know, back in like 2000, you know, like way back before, you know, we had an Xbox 360 to play Street Fighter in, you know, online. So you know, like there was like all that. Marvel 3 was a like it pretty much changed my life. It got me to creating fighting game content. It got me to organizing a whole bunch of events here in the Midwest, including like Ohio. Like I've like ran brackets and go produced for like seasons beatings. We've done if you guys ever heard of like console combat based out of Cleveland, Ohio, we did a whole bunch of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat events. And Tekken, because like that was kind of like the Midwest's baby as well. There was also there was also like the circuit of like me like traveling and like being a tournament commentator. I've done bits with Team Spooky for Marvel 3 when they hosted that, Level Up Live when they hosted Street Fighter 4, like you know like Youmacon at like NCR and like all that. And
back when it was a lot easier to do a little bit of commentary, man. I can't be full. I gotta pull out our damn reel now.
Yeah, that was kind of like what I got, like around like 2012, like 2013, where like I could be doing all of this stuff like as a as a teen, because like I was doing was just like going to school, but like as like responsibilities like piled up, like I just could not like I couldn't spend not my money to go fly places like every other week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair.
But
now, hey, that threw you into the GDQ spectrum though, because then you started fucking doing that a whole fucking bunch.
Yeah, so I initially wanted to get into streaming and the content creating like on Twitch because like I was a pretty like you know decent like Marvel 3 player, and I wanted to like you know stream stuff in training mode, sets with the boys and like all that, and kind of like gain like a little bit of traction. I only had a laptop that was like a shitty ass AceUhh, and I had really shitty internet, so I couldn't stream that shit. Like I don't know if you've ever tried streaming Marvel vs. Capcom 3 in 2011. That shit was horrible. like unless you had like $1,000 like rig, like you were just gonna be getting bit rate vomit like everywhere.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, fine, I whatever. Let me stream some like retro games, go back to the basics. Let me go back to like you know a little bit like what I love. My favorite games growing up was like Mega Man X, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, like Final Fantasy 7 and like all that. I went into a YouTube rabbit hole and went into that whole like speed demos archive thing, where I see a whole bunch of world record speed runs by like you know like by like Caleb, by like Rom Scout. And I'm like, okay. And I kind of like break down like what speed runs are when it comes to like you know being you know one take, less than 30 minutes like on average. They kind of put together these sort of like you know input sequences and combo sequences, kind of like fighting games.
Yeah.
Where you have to react, to where you have to, you know, like think a route out and all that stuff. So that was really interesting to me. And also the fact that you can beat Symphony of the Night, a game with like, you know, an upper castle, a lower castle, and all this, you know open world sandbox. You can beat that game in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
like on average, which is like that blew my mind. And I'm like why are people not like, you know, thinking about this or like talking about this, where it's like I was not really a big of a fan of like the AAA games. Like I played like Call of Duty for like a while, but like it just kind of got old. All I did was play like rhythm games, like DJ Max and like Rock Band, like you know very like unpopular things. But like when the what is it? What was I talking about? DJ Max and no, that was rhythm games. I lost my train of thought.
Talk about how you first discovered speedrunning.
There it goes. There it goes. Yeah. So the rhythm games were like not really all that popular content. Speedrunning though, retro games though, were. And I loaded up an Xbox 360. Apparently the 360 was like the fastest version to like run Soten, and I just like started doing that. I went into this extremely welcoming community for like Soten where people would just like pop in, be like, hey, you need help with this, you need help with that, or here's a better way to do that trick or strat, which was like pretty cool because like it kind of reminded me of like fighting games or going to a tournament where like you're like in a public room and you're like kind of like loading a practice mode, and then someone like comes up to you like, oh hey, I can help you do that, or hey, you want to play a bit. It's like someone like actually like showing you like how to showing them a little bit of like what they know. So I definitely like took to heart the kind of like warm welcome of the Soten community, and just that just kind of like sparked it for speedrunning for me. It started with Soten, then came out with Mega Man, and then just a whole bunch of like other games and a whole bunch of other communities that I'm just really glad to be a part of. Yeah,
it's a wonderful, it's a wild thing how those communities are so similar, but yet so kind of different in a way. But you were the one that kind of bridged that together when you started hosting tournaments for the fighting game players that may be there. Who knows? They may be free. They're free. Show up. Why not?
It's something that I've been wanting to do with like bridging the gap for like a while. I got the idea way back in 2016 when Street Fighter V just like first came out, and Golden SRL had drafted up a challenge bracket purely of like speed running community, but just playing Street Fighter V. I'm like, this is
Shib entered that tournament.
I was in that tournament.
Oh yeah, were you?
Yeah.
Ace
was supposed to enter with me. That motherfucker just slept and he never showed up, dude.
Did I fight you? Did I play Dawson back at the time? And I just started.
I got 2 buys because people either like didn't have good enough internet or they just didn't show up. So I was like, yo, I'm cruising, dude. I got 2 buys, dude. Look at me go. And then I played a Chun-Li, and literally like everyone in that tournament almost was playing Chun-Li. This guy was lagging all over the screen, and I couldn't even play the game, and he just fucking beat me 2-0, and I was like, all right, had fun. See you next time, guys.
And that was Street Fighter in 2016. So
Yep.
But yeah, it wasn't until that where it's like, I didn't realize that a whole bunch of speedrunners liked fighting games like that. Like I know there were a whole bunch of like Smash Brothers guys, Melee guys, and I know that community pretty well. But,
hey, 2 years in a row, the KH community won Smash tournament. So hey, GDQ's gonna have to hold that.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like it's that huge melting pot, right? Where I didn't know that. I don't know, world record holder of so and so odd game also plays a mean ass Falco or a Captain Falcon. Like we could not.
Why they didn't know that the level one crit like world record speedrunner also was just literally like a top 24 fucking Sonic player. So
yeah, like
everyone got smoked.
No, Cyber.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Dude, that's amazing. Like
yeah, I actually met Dragon Blitz at a Smash weekly because he lives in the same city as me.
Oh really?
And like I remember I went to a weekly once because my friends played Smash, but I never really played that much. And then they're like, my friend was like, "Yo, this guy speedruns too. You should talk to him." And I was like, this was back when they were like first organizing Smash the Record way back, and he was just like, "Yeah, we're putting this tournament or this marathon together if you want to like submit or whatever." I was like, "Oh yeah, what do you speedrun?" He's like, "Yeah, I speedrun Symphony of the Night." And I was like, "Oh yeah, cool, dude. I love Symphony of the Night. I've never ran it, but like it's one of this game." But like, yeah, then like eventually I was like, "Oh shit, that was Dragon Blitz." Like I didn't know who that was at the time, but eventually like I remember like seeing him at GDQ and shit, and I was like, "Oh, I met him at a fucking Smash Weekly." I was like, yeah, I play fighting games. I don't really play Smash, though. He's like, yeah, I play a little Street Fighter and shit too. We were just like shooting the shit for a bit.
Small circles, man. Silent Wolf held the world record for Donkey Kong Country for like a while, like a long while. Like just that amount of like tech skill, put that into a speed game, and then you can put that into a fighting game. Like there's a whole bunch of things that you can translate, But yeah, and then I started hosting like these tournaments and all that stuff. Not a whole bunch of people like Street Fighter 5 as much as I thought. Like there was that one in AGDQ 2017 where there was a 16-man.
Yeah. I won that bitch. Let's go. Give me that, baby.
Yo, Season 5, Colleen is so busted now. Like, she got better like every patch.
Yeah, well, I stopped playing her in Season 3, so the second they came out with V-Trigger 2s, and I was like, this is probably better than V-Trigger 1, but I don't like it. This ain't fun. And I just stopped playing her. Yeah, but I was going to say, the only reason I entered that tournament is because Dax told me about it. He was like, hey, there's like this Street Fighter tournament going on there. Do you want to like join it? I was like, yeah, who's running it? He was like, Blacktastic. I was like, well, I've never heard of him, but I don't care. Sure, fuck it, right? Because everyone that knows me knows I don't fucking care about speedrunning that much. Like when I initially got into it, because I had nothing to do. Literally, all I would do was play League of Legends all fucking day, and I needed something else because all of my scenes that I used to be into, like Halo, Call of Duty, all died. So I had nothing to do. So I was literally sitting in my room playing League of Legends for 12 hours a day, and I was like high as shit watching Twitch, like Kingdom Hearts on Twitch, and I saw BB's shit, and I was like, "Yo, this is crazy! What the fuck?" And somehow I remembered it the next day, and I started watching a lot more and more. And then I had a capture card I had a PVR from way back in the day because I used to have to record fucking game battles matches. So I was like, okay, streaming doesn't seem to be that difficult. I set everything up and I started doing it, and I enjoyed it for as the time went. But then I discovered fighting games and how much that was like. I really enjoyed that more. That gave me more of a competitive aspect because that's the only reason why I got into speedrunning. I loved the competitive aspect of it, but it's more or less me sitting at home trying to beat somebody else's time on a leaderboard, where I like to beat someone's ass, stand up and look at them.
Yeah.
And be like, damn, you crying right now? That's
I just got flashbacks to when like me and Dax played Marvel 3.
Oh, we were drunk as shit in the hotel room.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun.
Yo, Michael Goldfish, you remember the teabag, bro?
That was fucked up.
That
whole session was fucked up.
I remember that part, and like that's kind of it.
That teabag was disgusting, man.
I don't remember a whole lot about that day.
I remember Michael being a big meanie in Samurai Showdown.
Oh my god! I was getting
You're so pissed,
mad, dude. Sam's show is so.
I've never been so just like quickly turned off. Like not even just in terms of like, oh, this character's dumb. In terms of like, this game is not for me.
Yeah, like,
just in terms of I'm gonna do a jump in, and it's literally in terms of the pacing between hits, right? So I'm going to do this, right? I'm going to do 4 hits jumping, and then I'm going to do 3 hits when you land, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ching, 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 ching. The pacing of that shit drove me like just little things like that. I'm like, this is weird. I don't like it.
That was hilarious. If that game was out on PC at the same time as PS4, I probably would have bought it after that.
There is never been a game more not for me than
yeah.
Bro, last AGDQ, I just sat there getting dusted by Rebel Dragon and Marvel 3 for like 6 hours at the venue.
We'll do that.
Oh my! You let Rebel Dragon wash you?
I've watched Marvel 3. Like I played back in like the day, like 2011 when it came out, but like, I haven't played that shit in years. So I was just like, I couldn't even like land a combo. I would like land a hit and do half of a combo. I was like, yo, I'm getting it. And then Rebel Dragon just fucking just shit on me immediately afterward. He had no fucking like mercy. He's just like, oh, you're washed, whatever, dude. I'm gonna fuck you up. I play this shit every day.
You can't take like that level of just like that amount of time of and that many years of play in that kind of game and just have someone just turn it off. You can't.
Oh yeah.
You can't do that.
Marvel 3 will forever live inside of you.
Oh yeah.
And he's a Phoenix Wright player. You think he's not going to take every advantage he can to pop that game in locally and just be like, oh, I'll play nice. I won't even pick up any items. Like, no, you're going to get dusted.
Yeah.
He's gonna point at you and you're going to get put in front of the judge. So, sorry.
And so, like I was saying, like I've never been like super into the community, like into the speed running aspect of it. I've met so many people through speed running. It's fucking great. I'm glad I did. But it's one of those things.
Tech for like speed for like a Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah, I found the only skip in the game.
You can't say you're not all about speed running like that when you find something pivotal.
It was a fucking accident.
It wasn't.
It literally was.
To be fair.
I was there when he found it.
I flew into a wall and it broke. Oops! What the fuck?
He literally just like by accident just clipped into the wall. He's like, what?
Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck was? I literally put my hands off the controller. I was like, yo, what the fuck was that? I legitimately said, yo, that's crazy, man. I kept on playing. It literally
he left it on for like 3 weeks to see what would happen.
And then literally 6 hours later, we were in a TeamSpeak call, like trying to break it down. And then when we figured it out, I went into the wall and just fell for 6 days just to see what would happen.
Falling out of bounds.
Yeah. So when I go to GDQ events, I don't give a shit. I'll maybe go for. Normally, the only reason I go, I justify it for one run so I can go and see that run. But other than that, it's there to hang out with friends, sit in that fucking hotel room and play fighting games for a week. That is my goal. So when I was like, yo, there's a tournament that isn't fucking Smash, because I don't play Smash. Let's fucking go. And it was like right after season 2 had came out. I had been playing Cammy all season 1 and I hated my life because everything about Cammy's boring. And then Colleen finally came out. I was like, oh, this character is fucking crazy. And nobody knows how to play against her. Oh, sweet. This is going to be tight. Because no one knew about her fucking crouch medium kick being +1 on block. Didn't know about it being plus on hit. Didn't know about her V skill being not negative but neutral on block.
Fucking dumb.
You damn right it was, and it was sick. Everyone forgot about the parry and the setups that you got after the parry, so everyone would just get up and try to hit buttons, and they would die. Yeah, and I had like all these tech setups for if you're on the ground, I throw an icicle and then immediately parry after. If you block, I'm neutral. Who gives a shit? But if you try to DP, hit a button, you get counter hit by the icicle or by the parry. And if you EXDP to get through the parry, I'll parry through it and I can punish you.
I like how when Street Fighter V first came out, they wanted that to not happen with a character, and then season 2 came out and they just gave it all to a character. Yep.
Like Dragon Ball. So they're like, let's nerf these characters and then let's give these Goku everything.
GT Goku everything.
Okay, another thing. If we call out Rebel Dragon real quick. Man will watch me in Marvel 3 for 8 hours, and then I'm like, yo, let's play Dragon Ball. He said, I don't know how to play Dragon Ball, you'll wash me. Bro, what have you been doing to me for the past 8 hours? Pick up the sticks and let me feel good about myself.
Yeah, but you could have said but you could have said the same thing.
Yeah, but I took my ass beaten. Now he has to take his.
Well, you accepted it. It's a two-way street, Shib.
Yeah, but it's common courtesy.
That's a decent day to remember album.
Yeah, it's all right.
That's all right.
Is it the third one?
Yes.
Courtesy is late, isn't it?
Well, it's the one after Homesick, right?
Isn't that the 4th? I thought.
No. That's after.
Courtesy, the one was like, I'm right back at it again. That one. Yeah.
No, well, yeah.
Cool for cool. They're not here to make no friends, and I said, "Hey."
The one with the hourglass guy, or whatever, on the front cover.
Oh, what separates me from you?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's their best one. I'll fight people on
Think
that.
so?
That's been Summer Anthem material.
I'm about to reach through this monitor real quick.
I still think I fuck with For Those Who Have Heart the most.
That's a pretty good album.
That's what got me into it, dude. I remember back in the day.
You're
And then-
a boomer, dude.
I know, dude. I saw
found-
them live at Warped Tour when they had like a crowd of like 30, dude.
And then when you started doing those tournaments, I was like, yo, this tournament was fucking sick. I'm gonna enter all of them that bought me. So every time I rolled around GDQ, I was like, all right, Thursday's coming. We better have a tournament. It's about to be a good ass time.
I'm really glad that like people like found it, because like it for me, like trying to like set like something up like that on my own and like into a large like untapped like pool. Like I don't know like who any of you guys like were at that time. I didn't know who I was gonna be like trying to like interact with or like anything. Or
Yeah.
I didn't know that there were gonna be like any signups at all. Like, oh, who's this Blacktastic fella? Like Street Fighter's dumb. Never mind.
Yeah. It's one of those situations where you just kind of jump into it and be like, well, let's hope, you know.
Yeah.
When I saw like, you know, when I the day AceUhh, when I told you about when Bobby was doing the Street Fighter tournament, we went and did that. It was mainly because like I kind of strolled to the main door and I see the list for Smash and all that. And it's the usual 50, so however many people.
Yeah.
I only ever the only fighting game, like Bobby, like we were saying earlier, the only fighting game I really associated with most with speedrunning and stuff because it seemed pretty commonplace and there was a lot of crossover with Smash.
Yeah.
And I see a list with like 6 Street Fighter names and I'm like, oh shit, okay.
Okay, we can enter that.
I'm here and I
And
have my
then-
stick because I specifically brought it to play with AceUhh. So it's like, well, why would I not?
Yeah, because then when we did that, I told Payne, I signed up. We had Vash signed up for that one too. Like we brought more players into it, and it ended up being like 16 people. We had a fucking
Yeah, it was a
shit
full
ton of
bracket.
people doing it, and it was a lot of fucking fun. That grand finals was fucking insane, and really difficult to play through because Jesus Christ, Ram's fucking Nikali's annoying.
Oh my
because
god,
Nikali is an annoying ass character.
That was probably one of the most like invested grand finals that I seen in a GDQ, but that wasn't like Smash or anything.
Yeah, because most of the time for Smash, I've watched the Smash whittle down from when Smash 4 came out. No, it wasn't Smash 4. It was fucking Smash Ultimate. That fucking tournament was insane. There were so many people there. But by the time it got down to like top 9, when it was only Nintendo and Zem basically left, nobody was in that fucking. You could walk around, do whatever. But initially, you couldn't breathe in that motherfucker. You couldn't move. You couldn't do anything. You found a corner. You stood there. And if your name got called, you'd be like, I'm playing here. I don't care. I'm playing here.
I mean, there's a reason why people don't want to be in that.
Oh no, that's fair.
So I went
fair.
down there to just watch for a bit, and I literally went up to the room, or I went over to the room, and you know they keep the doors open. It's just an opening. You know, you have the two. In this case, you have like the 2 openings on either end, and then you go whatever. And both of them, it's just like there's just people.
Yeah.
I don't see a room. I just see people. Well, not going in there.
But
that's definitely not coming back.
But the beautiful part about all that is that you get me and Vash in a room talking about Smash, a game that we don't know anything about, and we're just yelling about the most arbitrary shit. we talk about Palutina's doing Ivysaur making salads.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Pulling out
Screaming at the top of our damn lungs. Shit, we did the same for Street Fighter. We did the same for fucking Dragon Ball. Because I mean, that's the one thing I don't like whenever I go to these speedrunning events and like there's a tournament going on. No one's making noise. No one's getting hype. Everyone's just sitting there watching. And I'm like, why? You guys are not at home right now. Fucking wake up and have some goddamn fun. We're here to have some goddamn fun. Let's go. Let's pop off a little bit. That's why that fucking remember when Sumi brought Dragon Ball for the arcade room before Dragon Ball came out. Vash was
18.
screaming at the top of his fucking lungs at 3 o'clock in the morning. Fucking the nightmare is over, Cell. Die every time he hit a Trunks ult, like Trunks level 3.
That's how you know you're alive, dude. You get the blood pumping.
But I mean that's an actual true thing, man. That's what I miss about like going to like the grassroots fighting game events is that like there's always something to be made out of nothing or something to be made out of a certain situation, certain like moment, especially in fighting games where seconds are precious.
Yeah.
So why not like why not react as if that sort of had that impact. Get hype about it. Have an element to a spectator sport that's enthralling.
My favorite part is when people were getting mad at us in the Smash room. When we were rooting on Nintendo, if they weren't laughing with us, they were getting pissed, and it was fucking hilarious.
My favorite two kind of reactions I hear in fighting game events is either the rare moment where you happen to break out in song. Somebody's getting fucked.
Or when people start dancing to the infinite,
or dancing, or when it's last game, last round, both characters on a pixel, and you have 20 seconds on the clock, and then the high pitch, the squeals, the distant squeals start coming out. And like no matter how sensitive the mics are in the video, whatever, like those will come through. You just start and like that, like those are my I just want a video just compiling as many of those as possible. Just specifically, just those kind of screams and those kind of moments are fucking hysterical to me.
There's no better example of that than the Leffen Goichi set.
Oh, where he blocks for like 30 seconds straight.
Yeah. And everyone just entire time.
That shit was ridiculous.
Or actually fucking apes, dude.
Yeah,
just
that's
freaking
the best
out.
part. Because that's why those speedrun events are so goddamn boring. Though, like all you'll do is when you go to sure, everyone needs I understand the idea of being respectful for somebody's run and not fucking getting loud and screaming, but when something wild happens, I want someone in the crowd to scream. I want someone to get hype and be like, "Holy shit, what the fuck?" In the crowd. I want someone to freak the fuck out. Make your shit fun, because I don't want to go into a Smash room and have 3 of my fucking boys behind me and they're not making sound. I don't want them to not make. I want them to fucking scream, shout. Every time I get a Smash, I want them to make the sound of every hit, stun, every hit sound it makes. I want them to do a sound effect. I want that shit to pop off in Smash and any fighting games. If I'm playing Dragon Ball and I don't got Vash behind me going, yes sir, hit that 5H stun. If I don't got that, I lose. I'm literally going to lose the game.
There's a lot of it just isn't how it was like back then. There's a certain sort of like raw emotion and reaction that you can't just like emulate if you even like try to on like a GDQ like setting, and the sort of like timing for it to be in like a GDQ setting, like you would have to like perfectly have someone like it had to be scripted. It would have to be like extremely scripted, or else someone would just go in at like the wrong moment. That's why people don't clap. That's why serious time is like a thing. And like,
but you're also dealing with the fact that you'll have someone talking anywhere between 10 minutes to 8 hours. Like straight like commentating this thing or whatever. There's a lot of downtime and stuff, as opposed to like, okay, these individual matches, individual moments that you can pull from, things like that, to where it's like, okay, round 1 when that starts, loud as we want, whatever, and then there's a downtime. There's a period in between, so it's not quite as set up for it. And when you do get the scripted stuff, you get that Y'all remember when Trax and them did that horribly scripted run, and then before the run. Yes, and before the run, they tweeted out the script saying like you can follow like trying to do like a meta thing with it, and I'm like, y'all are not funny. This is actually a waste of time and a waste of the run. You're actually like ruining this. Like, can you not do that? We're self-aware. I guess it was funny. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. That's why when I go to those things, I want to just like, I'm not a speedrunner. I'm a fucking fighting game player. I'm gonna fucking scream and shout. And what are y'all gonna do about it? Nothing. You're gonna stand there and look at me. That's crazy, bro.
That's what I appreciate. It's like it's something I appreciated about the runs that are like not as taken as seriously, and there's a lot more. Like when you're in the crowd in the room in the stream room, like there's a lot of just active, not like talking and stuff, but just there's a lot more energy to it, and people are just kind of having a lot more fun with it. That fucking Pepsi Man run was a treat.
Yeah.
Because everyone's just kind of enjoying the moment for what it is, and no one's taking it super seriously, and everyone's singing the song and just fucking around and kind of do whatever.
I will always go back to Fat Body's Sonic 1 run was probably still one of the greatest runs on GDQ stage.
Well, I mean, you could have just woken up from a fucking 20-hour nap in a sarcophagus, and that man after 10 minutes will get you fucking pumped up.
Oh yeah,
like a little bit of commentary from him, and you're fucking you're cracked out, dude. You're gone.
I feel like that was like the perfect blend of just fighting game bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Which is perfect because it comes from that heavily. It made total sense when I was like, "Oh, you're a Marvel 2 OG." Oh, okay, this makes complete sense. The way you go about this makes complete sense.
It makes complete sense where he's there to entertain. He knows he's there to entertain, but he also wants to help the people that want to learn. And he's being really informative, and he'll talk about the tricks, and then from there, bull on while he's doing the damn tricks.
Like, on top of that, it was one of the best. It was one of the best performances of that game in a sitting, like ever recorded.
Yeah.
Let alone at a G. Like, it was just like, what the fuck?
Yep.
It's actually super fucking impressive.
People just have like just the talent like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish more people would. I wish that pool was deeper in the speedrunning realm, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bigger leap of faith to most than some, I would say.
Yeah.
Especially
it's 100% fair, especially in the speedrunning community.
Yeah, especially even in an event like that, where not only are there 100 people in the ballroom watching you, but more than 150,000 people around the world watching you.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually like kind of glad that my first performance at a GDQ was a race, because I didn't have to say jack shit.
Yeah,
I didn't have to explain myself. I didn't have to focus on entertaining. I just played, and I ended up winning the race. I played, just focused on the consistency, and that was it. I definitely wanted to shift into something like that, into something like, more play-by-play informative commentary as I was playing. But like, sometimes you just gotta like start out, small. Or, start off, dipping your toes in the water like a little bit, or else like something can just go terribly wrong,
And sometimes it's testing the waters. You test the waters and see what's good, and then as you go on, you get way more comfortable with it. And you can tell the people that have done runs at GDQ already, and they're doing it again. You can already tell they're seasoned. They're like, okay, they start to actually have a lot more fun with it. But most of the time, like those first time runners, oh boy, they're shaking. They're shaking, and there's more than a reason to.
Pissing my damn self.
Oh, I understand that completely.
It's like, hey, your first run ever. Okay, when is this? Okay, it's your second GDQ. Have you ever done a run here? No. Is this one of your first speedrun games? Your speedrun games you ever did? Yes. Cool. You're gonna be the second person behind Triax who's opening.
Yeah,
cool.
That's kind of bananas.
Don't fuck it up. I'm like, all right.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh God.
I flew in and I'm laying in bed at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm finally starting to crash, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta run in like 9 hours. This is weird.
You flew in for that?
Didn't we, or did we drive?
No, we drove.
We drove.
Adam. Yeah. You picked up Adam.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Because that was the longer drive. Because that was the 3.5 hour detour.
Yeah, that was the one where they forgot my bags in Seattle.
Right.
They were like, oops.
Right.
Oops, left them there.
Whoops.
God.
We forgot that shit.
But also, I have almost won all the Blacktastic tournaments that I've entered. The only person to have beat me in a Blacktastic tournament is the Blacktastic. So,
Oh shit! I forgot. about
Collusion.
yeah, I got smoked. I got absolutely smoked. Holy shit!
What?
Dragon
Dragon
Ball.
Ball.
I got second. I got fucking trash.
Those were the you were trying to play Videl, right?
Yeah, she was so
That's
bad.
You were playing
She
two
was
characters to my 3.
She was so bad at that time. Oh my god.
I was playing GT. I
I'm
just
sorry.
completely forgot.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I wanted that character super bad, and then they said, take that reflect button away.
Get rid of that motherfucking reflect button now.
I mean, like I get she's like have her throw a rock or something. You know, Krillin's got a
Maybe
rock.
something. Maybe something. Like even her B assist sucks, man. She don't got no forward movement. She just stand there and punch the air, and you're like, I can't do anything with that. God damn it.
I think the patch should have been like you press S and then just the Great Saiyaman came out.
That'd be sick. And then you just play as a Great Saiyaman and no
Wait, as
one
adult
would know.
Gohan. You got 2 adult Gohans on your team.
That'd be sick. God.
But the Black Cup tournaments were like super great. I really hope that in some way, shape, or form, we could have them at another GDQ. Then,
hey, hopefully, whenever this shit's done, bro, we'll see you at another one.
Oh,
There was only a fucking Eunice tournament at the last GDQ, I think.
it was a Eunice tournament.
Yeah, we didn't hear about it until after it happened, though.
Yeah, we were thinking about doing a gauntlet, like so. The issue was there was just too much shit going on, but our plan was to have like a gauntlet day where Dax has a bunch of fighting games on his PS4.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, everything's updated. Why don't we just take that down? We'll do first of ones on all these games that you potentially may never have played of, but why the fuck not? It's a best of one. You don't get anything out of it. It's free to enter. And we'll just do best of ones and good luck.
That's kind of like a roulette mystery game tournament.
Yeah, kind of. Where after Street Fighter V, we get to play fucking like Under Night in Birth, the original. Load that bitch up, you know?
Yeah, some guy came to me at Vash when we were playing Marvel at the venue and was like, hey, we're having a Eunice tournament tomorrow. We're like, oh shit, all right. But
well, damn.
We were doing something, I think. We didn't have, so we never ended up going. So I don't know how the turnout was or anything.
The person that I always feel like has the most fun at those tournaments, though, is Vash, because he gets to yell.
I get to be a loud ass motherfucker is the best.
That's like good shit, dude.
That's the best part, though. If I get Vash in my ear screaming, how can you lose?
That was the absolute best part of the Black Cup, like the second to last one.
In the tournament,
just giving this guy the shades and then just having him ballistic.
Oh, I took off my. I took off my glasses so I couldn't see shit, and I'm just like, I put on the shades, dude.
It was what was it? It like that ultimate tournament. Me and Vash were actually being nuisances. we were just being pieces of shit. We would find like if BB, Nintendo, or Zem were playing, we just watch him. And BB plays Palutena, so every time he did like an up tilt, it would just we would just say that every time.
Jesus.
Oh,
you just don't get that sort of raw energy anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't.
You get it in our Discord when I watch Evo Grand Finals.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
That's
God.
Are any of you guys entering Evo online for anything?
Hell,
might as fucking well. Shit.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, but I'm also thinking about just prioritizing commentary.
Might fuck around and enter 20 times with different accounts. They'll never know.
Yeah,
I mean, what I didn't understand and what I actually think is really neat now that I've reanalyzed the info and understand how this is working now. I thought because I saw people talking about Skullgirls and MK11 being added and stuff, and I thought it was just like, okay, well, it's all online, rollback, whatever. It's unofficial, unofficial, quote unquote, whatever. Not taking it super seriously. It's like, no, all those other games from the lineup that are already on, they're not getting tournaments. They're getting little exhibitions and things, but they're not getting tournaments. The only tournaments that are being run for EVO Online is MK11, Skullgirls, Them Fighting Herds, and Killer Instinct.
Yep,
it's just that. So it's like, if that's it, fucking Them's Fighting is $10. Skullgirls like what, $2?
Like KI is free. KI is free.
The only game that's expensive is MK11, but fuck MK anyway, so just play the other 3.
I'm telling you this right now. The second I thought that, I immediately thought, I hope Michael Goldfish doesn't get KI.
Well, hold on. We have to think about it, because who would he play? And why would it be?
Dude, my Shib is disgusting.
Why was I gonna? Oh my fucking god! I fucking knew it.
You would.
I fucking knew it. Actually, that'd be really sick. Actually, it'd be super sick to watch. I wouldn't play it, but I would watch Goldfish.
I want Michael Goldfish to enter in KI.
You want me to enter specifically KI? Do you have it?
Yeah.
I only have it on. You can do like private matches cross-platform, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Vash did it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to get me good at KI and I'll enter?
Yeah, I'm down.
I gotta play.
What's up?
I'm just trying to play like something collectively. I want everyone here to start investing time in the KI. KI is sick.
Yeah,
and we just mob the bracket.
I tell you what, Goldfish, my Glacius and my Aria is nasty.
Oh, you have a nasty Aria, dude?
Yeah, dude.
Oh fuck. Dude, I'm so bad at KI. Like, I say I'm bad at everything, but I'm like at least decent at the stuff I say I'm bad at. I'm like legitimately not good at KI.
That's because you haven't tried it. Legitimately, you haven't tried it.
All right.
I know for a fact, Michael. I've watched you work. You sit down with that game for more than 2 hours, it's a wrap. Soon enough, you're gonna be hitting fucking deep frame linkers, and I'm like, oh my god, what is going on, dude?
Yeah, all right, man.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna get counter broken on everything that I do, because you're gonna be like, yeah, I put Arya into practice mode. I know all of her moves now. You're fucked. This is crazy. Counter breaker.
He's gonna say that every time. He's like, dude, this is crazy. He's just gonna Mr. Magoo his way into fucking grand finals. It's gonna be annoying as shit.
So is that the plan? Are we storming Evo Online?
I've never seen someone fall dick first into success as often.
Are we all entering with the boys tag, dude? Fucking.
I'll do it.
Boys.
Fighting Herds is what? Like $10? $8?
Yeah.
Good as fuck, dude.
Oh,
1749. What the?
Yeah. when it was early access, it was like 10, 11.
Oh, okay. It's gone up since then. Well, it's still good. Fuck it.
Oh, a great game.
It's really good.
It's on the radar.
It's a fighting game where the online works. I mean, you can't really ask for much better right now.
Me and you've got some dates going on for the next week, man. We gotta play.
So you have Skullgirls?
Yes, I have Skullgirls.
Okay.
I have Skullgirls.
So I need to practice up the Squig Band. I need to practice Shin Hitsako, and then I buy Fighting Herds. That's the plan.
There you go.
Yo, does anyone here not have Skullgirls?
I don't know how anyone wouldn't. So. I think everyone kind of has at this point. There's 2 games everyone owns: Minecraft and Skullgirls. You don't really. I
actually don't own Minecraft.
Okay, you do. I still believe that's a lie.
You have Uno.
You have Uno. Came free on your fucking Xbox.
I don't have Uno.
You have Uno. That fucking screen. You have Uno. That guy. God, it's great.
So, Bobby, have you touched UI Goku yet?
I have like a little bit. I haven't put like any like actual lab time into UI Goku, but I just mashed around with a couple of friends a little bit. I mean, he's looking like pretty nuts. I just want the rest of the characters right now, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
they got leaked, right?
What?
2 of them got leaked, right?
So we haven't had more confirmations on that data, so it's looking like bullshit.
What you think?
There's
I've seen it. I saw it in a screenshot, and then I saw.
But that's the thing. No one's sourcing it. No one's sourcing that. It's just a couple tweets with some screenshots, and no one's actually sourcing it. So
one way or another, it's potentially Roshi and potentially Raditz.
Raditz?
Raditz. Why? This late into the game?
Why
After you put UI go, like what is Raditz gonna do after you put UI?
I was saying, like,
Yeah.
he's gonna be another Saturday Crush to Goku.
I cannot believe they brought in UI Goku this early. All I can think is why. That is a boss character. You just
Yeah, they blew the load hella early, dude.
We could have been like, yeah, Majin
keep
Vegeta,
interest.
yeah, Raditz, yeah, Roshi, and everyone would be
I
like,
could have been labbing me some Jackie
UI
Chan
Goku.
right now.
Exactly. We'd be sitting there going, "Oh, UI Goku at the end. I can't. They just don't care anymore. No, we're doing that now. They're doing that now, and now we're like, how are you going to add any other character? What the fuck is like Raditz going to do to UI Goku? He's just going to die."
That's the thing. There are so many points in Dragon Ball Fighter Z where I just like as I'm playing a match, also I'm playing a headcanon, like in my mind. Like if Nappa gets blown up by, I don't know, Ultra Instinct Goku standing S, that motherfucker is dead. I don't care who you are. He is destroyed. He is imploded from the inside up. Same thing with, Ginyu. I don't know why the fuck he's in the game.
Yeah.
Same thing with all these other low 16, like a walking, living, breathing septic tank goes up against an Ultra Instinct Goku. Fuck you, dude. That dude is dead.
To be fair, he gets a canonical 45% damage buff on grabs if he grabs a Goku. That's confirmed. So there actually is a bit of addition here. He's not going to gain any goddamn bar from it.
Or
they don't want to change that back.
I want like a mod where like if Nappa plants a Cyberman and it latches on the Yamcha, he's dead.
I would love a canonical mod.
Yeah, lore mod.
Lore mod. Frieza does the intro. Okay, if you have Krillin on your team and Frieza's the opponent, Frieza will always start with the Goku intro where he blows him up and you just don't have Krillin on your team anymore. He's just gone. He's deleted. He's just the bar is grayed out. He's gone. Sorry. Has to die.
Bobby, would you like to hear about our character requests or our character dream character for Dragon Ball Fighters? Me and Dax made it up.
Yeah. So we have a wonderful idea. We think it would be a really great addition. Now, ironically enough, this is another Goku. But it's the one we actually want. So do you remember in the Android saga, in the part in which Trunks, of course, comes back to the past and he's like, "Hey Goku, you're gonna get a fucking heart disease," right? No one ever explores that era of Goku's history. So imagine Goku parentheses heart disease. So the idea is that it's just Super Goku, right? We're gonna keep it simple, just like they did with Blue, just regular Super Goku, but he has a special meter in which he has to eat his pills, right? And the meter is constantly draining, but whenever you eat your pills, it goes up a little bit. If it ever runs out of the bottom, no matter how much time is left on the clock, Goku will crumple, grab his chest, start screaming and writhing in pain for the remainder of the time until he dies when the timer hits 0. And then the match will continue.
So, so this would be the hard counter to Ginyu.
Oh yeah,
sure.
Oh yeah, sure.
So there's some utility. It can be a thing.
I mean, it's more about the story than its utility.
I don't even know, like, if you even have to do that. What I suggested is that when he runs out, when he doesn't take enough pills and he runs out, his meter runs out, time stops. But for the next 60 seconds, you just hear Goku.
Oh right, it's a forced 60 seconds always. That's the patch. They patch it in to be like, people aren't enjoying this because what if you have 5 seconds left on the clock and there's only 5 seconds of screaming? Well, you're not getting the full extent of the lore.
You're not really feeling
even if the
Goku's
clock is at 1 second, you will sit there for the 60.
Yep.
And it is tournament rule. Players are not allowed to get up until he is done.
You can't pause or else he takes the round.
No, there's no pause, and there's no pause and handshake. No. You sit your ass down and you listen to him. Right?
I would be screaming in my dude's face. Like if we're playing shoulder to shoulder. and my fucking You know that one alien meme picture? Just
Yeah.
What
do you think? Do you think he'd fit well into the Dragon Ball universe?
You know, I could rock with it. I don't see him as being, you know, something that I would put on point.
Definitely an anchor character.
Is he though? Is he an anchor character in that you would get hit with the 60-second timer, you get to watch yourself die, and then it's just KO, you're done? Like, I don't know if I want to experience that.
That's your time to reset mentally.
At least if he's point and he goes early, and you have at least you have those 60 seconds of screaming to think about what you're going to do when your next character is coming in.
That's true. That's true. But think about it. What if like you win with him, but he's died, right? What if they just have Goku out on a stretcher in the back when the 3 characters?
No.
Oh yeah, you could beat us, and it's me, the fucking middle character, and dead Goku.
No. They just you see when the characters slide in the frame, you see a big fucking green tube with Goku floating in it in the water, and he's just all kinds of, he's just fucked up. He's strapped in. He's just sitting in the pod.
Brilliant.
Give him a damage over time ability so that you can actually die, and then you can still win the round, and they still have to watch it scream.
I like that.
I like this character. I really hope that he comes out in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Love to explore the 5H into the heart attack.
I mean, but you got to think about it. He'd have such cool setups. Like, you know, he'd do like a 5H into a smash, into a pill pop, into spark.
Spark makes your meter drain twice as fast. It's hard beating too fast.
Yeah. When you're in Spark, the meter drains way faster because he's so excited.
Because his heart, you gotta. But that's why he has popping pills cancels. So if you pop the pill cancel, you're good to go.
I just like the idea that if you're
all this sparking and pill popping. This is a kids show game.
I just really like the idea of if you're in level 3 Spark, the acceleration of the Spark and also your heartbeat is faster than you can pop the pills. Like no matter how many you pill, the bar is just gonna drain. So like once you spark, it's like I need to kill him now, or else like
it turns into that fucking like button mashing torture chamber from Metal Gear Solid.
That's never good at that. It's never good at that fucking.
Had enough yet? Oh, we're not finished yet.
I would love the idea. Of every time he pops the pill too. Every time, no matter what, he only has one voice line. Grape flavored. Grape flavor. Grape. So every time he doesn't cancel 5-8, grape. Grape.
Oh god, are you really taking me back to fucking I love me some, I love me some, I love me some. Oh god.
Pineapple surprise.
Pineapple surprise. I love me some. I love me some. I love me some. God.
Hell yeah.
Have gun.
Have gun. Have gun. Will have gun.
Goldfish.
I love how there's still like here's Blue Vegeta. What's the name of this move? On a scale from 1 to 10, I'll give you a 3. How long does it last? About 2 seconds. Okay, how long is his voice line be? Oh, he's saying the whole move. So how would you hear it? Okay, he's gonna do the move and then not do anything after. When is that gonna happen? Never. Okay, so you're gonna hear it on a scale from 1 to, and that's okay.
On a scale of 1 to
Sure. Yeah. Like what? Okay. Cool.
On a scale to 1 to 10, I'll give you a yeah. Beat the fuck.
So stupid. Well, like, and I like when certain lines in games just take on their own form because of things that overlap. So, like like my favorite is always going to be Wesker in Marvel 3, or not Wesker. Well, Wesker does it too, but Frank in Marvel 3, where he starts up a line and just immediately, because the dubs line isn't. It takes the same amount of time, but the line's too long. So, Bobby, what does he say when he starts up the shopping cart and then he goes in the Dooyah and he starts charging? He gets cut off. I can't think of what he says.
Oh, he was like, "Yeah, there's what is he?"
he starts up a whole line. He gets halfway through it and immediately and the super of course pans back to the side and then it goes oh yeah and he charges forward so you never hear it. Like Wesker's like bleeds over a little bit, but like yeah, that one is just straight up. It's just a cutoff and just it,
my favorite one is like Nova, where it's like feel my gravimetric blast,
and that just like
energy trap.
You just hear that shit so long where it's like yeah that line is so and so cut off Doria, not the full fucking line. So when you hear like audio rips and things where you hear like the full line, or if you were playing online and the game would lag, but not the audio files, so you would hear the startup of the super and the game would just start chugging. And you would hear the whole line. And I'm just like, that's weird. That's weird.
I've had a lot of instances of that because Marvel 3's a underwater code. Every time you start up a super, you just get that freeze. It's never good.
One of my favorite things in Marvel when Strange is on the screen.
That was in his level 3. Just buy the hoary daggers of the knock. I do with the whole pose and everything. Just buy the whole daggers of.
No. That one he just says that. No, it's just by the hoary hosts of Hogarth or whatever, and he turns around and does his thing. Daggers and Knock was just a special. That was just a special move.
No, there was a bug in the game that replaced whatever he said with Daggers of the Knock. If you did his level 3.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I will look this up like right now. Like it's.
I remember that.
At the very least in the PC and PS4, like that port version.
Oh, okay. That's probably why I'm not. The only PS4 audio thing I can remember that I remember hearing day one, I thought was really funny, which is still in the game, is for Frank when you do his plunger move in the air, quarter circle forward light, it plays zombie sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like like what?
I'm like, ugh.
Like how do y'all what the fuck?
Hey, yo, what the fuck? No, it fucking or I still will always say and never not say fucking Dormammu's black hole loops. Every time I hear like something happens, something in my heart feels good about it. Every time I hear that shit.
The sound design in that shit's so fucking good.
Yeah.
The game is so well put together.
That game is yeah. God bless Marvel 3.
Bro, do you ever look at like Bobby, I don't know if you've ever gotten much into graphic design and things like that, but obviously you have an eye for detail. Your layouts always look great and all that shit going on.
Thank you.
You ever look at the MVCI screen and see the extra red square at the bottom? And just
don't make me open this shit up.
And just start to just sweat a little bit.
I'm already sweating right now. I don't need this thing.
Like it was already so whack, and then it's like, hey, we also have an imbalance of characters for the DLC, so there's just gonna be an extra red Marvel square in the Capcom spot. Yep. I'm like, you were doing everything possible to piss me off right now.
I thought I had to buy an extra character. I thought that was Sigma Ultron. Like I thought they were gonna do us injustice.
Yeah.
But as with that game, it just was not meant to be.
It's a shame. Oh well.
Hey,
Winter Soldier's got some sick loops though.
The game's got tons of sick shit.
I mean,
it just wasn't for me. I just want.
Shib's the only person still playing that
game. Whatever. I mean, it plays nice. It's buttery smooth, and the stones are a nice mechanic. But like, why does it look worse than Marvel 3?
Yeah, I don't know. Visually, it's fucking terrible.
Like that, isn't that what they did with Dragon Ball Z? AceUhh? So when they added Ultra Instinct Goku, they just like cell shaded the fuck out of everyone else. Like give everyone like a tune up.
Yep.
Give them a tune up.
Capcom's never gonna acknowledge that game again.
Retro like gaming commercial where it's all like, yeah, tighten the graphics on level 3.
Yeah. The DeVry commercial. It's like, you need to tighten up the graphics on level 3 a little bit. And it's like, great. My mom said I'd never get anywhere playing these games. And I'm like, whoa, this is... Even as a kid, I was like, this probably isn't how games are made. I don't think it's that simple.
I don't know. I think with like Unreal Engine 4 nowadays, there's It's like there's like a sharpen Titan button.
Okay, well, everyone's dumping the fucking model from Mario 64 into the basic test plane and going, hire this man, Nintendo, hire this man. So whoa, crazy.
Yeah, and you know what happened when they said hire this man? We get Jump Force.
That game literally is just a drag the drop.
Yes, I know.
Like,
and they got somebody after everyone was like, hire this man, Bandai, hire this man. They hired him, and he's like, I've got a brilliant idea. We're gonna bring all the wonderful villains and protagonists and beautiful heroes of the Jump comics. We're gonna bring them all together. And they're like, oh, great. Let's see what you can do. Drag and drop. As you guys can see here, I have made a prototype of the game.
So what's going on here? What's the process for how we're building this here? Well, as you can see, on one monitor I have Unity, and on the other monitor I have Unreal, and I am dragging and dropping the files from Unity to Unreal. Oh, what else? What do you mean? What else? That's it. It's done. Look how cool he is. He's so
well, like they need to fly. Do you have animations for that?
I mean, you can. No. Well, I have this thing called a Y-axis. I can make them go. I can make them go up like this. Up. He's gonna just stand in place like this, but don't worry, he's moving up.
What a shit show!
Like, it's funny as fuck.
Almost better than Superman 64.
I fucking love Marvel Infinite though. That game's so fun to play.
It's dope. I love Hawkeye. I love Dante. I love it. Like all the characters in there are dope. Finally got a Monster Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's so much nasty mix in that game too. It's great. I love it.
And now we get to talk about fighting game saturation and why that's a bad thing. Because now so many games are trying to play like Mario, are trying to play like Street Fighter and this, that, and the other thing. You got people on Grand Blue, and that's kind of like anime Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Street Fighter doesn't work.
Yeah.
You got Marvel people on them fighting herds and Power Rangers and all that stuff now. Like, it's just a whole bunch. It's a whole bunch out there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult for everyone to be like, well, it's anime Street Fighter, but why don't you just play Street Fighter? Well, it's because Street Fighter fucking sucks. Street Fighter 5 has not been fun since Season 2. And you know what they did to the netcode? They said, hey, we saw that y'all fixed it. We're going to patch that shit out. Fuck you.
Who the fuck said you can fix our netcode?
It's so sad.
It really is.
I'm telling you, dude. Ono went to that dude's house and he said, hey, bro, the fuck you doing?
I think
jumped his ass.
I think
me and Blanc are about to fuck your ass up. You keep doing that shit.
I think the saddest thing with that is that 5 has rollback. It's just horribly implemented.
And it's literally
that's the most frustrating
by 2 lines of code.
Yeah.
They literally said it was 2 lines of code that needed to be fixed.
Because this shit has been established by the fucking by Proton John and all them for the last like more than a decade.
Yeah.
And they're just like, we will help you at a moment's notice with this shit. It is not difficult.
Please, let us help, please.
It's that fucking Japanese dev mentality, man. It's the same shit that happened with 14 and so many other games where it's like, no, we want to do it our way. No help. It's like, but we can make it so easy. And it's like, no, we're going to do it our way. That's why when I see Arxis making a post with Kai dropping the mic or whatever, and he's like, hey, we put rollback, and I'm like, okay, that doesn't really tell me much.
Yeah.
I'll see it when I see it. Because Capcom showed they can improve because the MVCI netcode was significantly better. It's actually really solid rollback.
So much better. Like honestly, like a lot of that and like the lobby system in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was kind of like copy pasted into Power Rangers.
Why I saw that, but I was like, why would you change it? No, it's already good. And plus, like, I mean, fucking Combo Fiend, good old Peter worked on both. So I'm like, okay, you obviously had a say in this. That's good. Yeah. So.
And now he's making Marvel 4.
You know hey, you wish, buddy. I literally when that shit was going on, and like there was like with the netcode stuff, I was actually enjoying playing Street Fighter 5 because you could play against anybody. I played against Pain for hours.
Mm.
And then after they patched it out, I played him like a month later, and I couldn't play more than 2 games.
Yeah.
I couldn't play more than 2 games. I'll sit there and Dragon Ball lag all day. But Street Fighter 5 lag is something else. That's a whole nother ballpark of bullshit.
Dude, like bad, like rollback, like, man, I don't know. There's something so just amusing about just seeing a character just like, like I go up to Kin and he's in the corner as Alex, and like I command throw, and I see the camera zoom in for the first like 8 frames and go into the animation, and then 1 frame later he's just punching me in the face.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
That shit, that's what aggravates me the most, dude.
I always ask myself, like, I don't know if I would take that over delay-based issues, but at the same time, but then I just stop and go, I don't want either. It's so avoidable. It's so fucking avoidable. Well.
Cause I don't know, man. It's just I hate that the most, where buttons show up.
You see
in Dragon Ball,
I see me scoop him, and then the game says, "Wait."
In Dragon Ball, button do this.
Mm.
In Street Fighter, button do not there. You're dead. Crush counter. Hold this fucking chop button, bitch. And for some reason, this guy can do this on this kind of lag, and I'm like, oh man, that's crazy, dude. Whoa.
Street Fighter also has way too many. Just as the game itself, and AceUhh and I would find this a lot whenever we would sit down with a new character or something for a little bit. Is that like we would see like, oh man, so and so has all this cool shit. And then they had the other, this and that and the other, and then the next day we would kind of look back at it, think about all the points we made, and it's like, oh, 95% of that only counts if they're in V trigger.
Yep.
Like the character, and I get the idea behind that system, and that's fine, but all of the fun stuff is locked behind the fun meter, and I don't care for a lot of the other rest of the game without the fun meter stuff. It's just, and then on top of that, you have certain characters where it's like, hey, their fun meter is not nearly as cool or interesting or intuitive or unique or useful as these other characters' fun meters. And then you lead issues with that where there's like just not satisfying at all. And
yeah, it's like when you're playing in Street Fighter 5, if you're playing successfully, you're letting your opponent get to the fun part of the match quicker. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like Urian, one of the best characters in the game consistently throughout, season after season. He's not really all that fun until you get, the Aegis Reflector out. That's what people know him for. But it's locked behind a V trigger. You're essentially play like I feel like Street Fighter 5 is not even that honest of a game, but you're forced to play that way to begin with.
Yeah.
When everyone else kind of like G has 50-50, 2-touch stuns, and like you could be put in a very sticky situation in a game like that, like extremely quick.
Yeah.
Like even more so than like I would even say like Power Rangers, where at least I have an alpha counter or like something that also is not V meter reliant.
Yeah, it's at least like there's too much of a disparity between like, okay, here's a character that's is reasonably solid and kind of fun to play, all right, whatever, and then you get into his V trigger, and for the next 20 seconds or however long you can do some really cool unique shit, and you have like 12 different cool unique options that you can do intermixed with one another, and it's really cool. And then once that time's gone, then hey, you're out. You have other characters where it's like, and like frankly I look at Urian and I'm like, Urian is Urian, and then he's Urian with an Aegis, and aside from that, it's like when he doesn't have Aegis, he's doing all the same shit. And then he just gets like, and then like the Aegis becomes like, oh, here's my fun little bonus, and it feels a lot more rounded, well-rounded and thought and simple, as opposed to other characters where it's like, oh, now that I've activated this trigger, you feel like a complete character.
Yeah.
And then when it gets taken away, I'm like, fuck. That was kind of the whole point I wanted to play this character.
Nikali was like so good.
Jury, Nikali, yeah.
Yeah, Nikali is like largely reminiscent of like maybe like an action game player, like a Mega Man boss where there's like a second phase.
Sure, yeah.
Nikali has that second phase throughout the entirety of the match. until he dies.
Yeah, that one, like Nikali works fine for the idea of like, okay, you're gonna be super basic and linear or whatever, and then we're just gonna give you like 100%. Like here's your power up, and then you just hold it, you maintain it, and of course, I mean, you don't. The cost of that, which I find really unique about that character, is that it's permanent, so you don't get alpha counters anymore. You don't get like that meter. It doesn't deplete, but it also doesn't come back, and you can't use it for anything else. Once you're in that state, you're stuck there. But like it was, I don't know, it was. I like the way that's done for him, and then. Just so fucking dull for others. Or like I said, there'd be like, you have something as simple as like, okay, I activate trigger, I have Aegis now. And it's like, cool, that's a really useful single tool that you can apply a lot of different ways, and that's what your core meter is being used on. Once you burn a little bit of bar, a mirror's popping out. What are you doing with it? Well, a lot of stuff. You can go for a setup where it sits on top of them as you throw them and you get a combo. You go for another stuff where you go black, whatever it may be. And then you have stuff where it's like, okay, well, here's a character with like 9 different things they can do that are all very, very situational. But nothing is super, like nothing is as just solid or useful or like reflects the character as well as something like Aegis. So you end up with situations where it's like, okay, if you're in this very particular spot, like sure, okay, maybe, but oftentimes, like for example, like Cody gets cool stuff with the pipe, and you could do and you have like the stuff where you can do the setups with like the stone and the ball, all that, whatever. There's a lot going on for not a whole lot of payoff. Then Urian can just walk up forward and just Aegis. It's like, all right, cool. Like we got it. Oh, a lot of
the cool sounding characters are just kind of like stuck playing traditional Street Fighter, while everyone else is like, it definitely is like a new meta of like Street Fighter, and
feels like characters from different games. Well, I mean, literally is characters from different games, but it feels like there's too much of an odd disparity in terms of like design choices, because the idea behind it is like, oh, the V trigger part is and even the V skills and everything is supposed to be really interesting reflections of like what is known about that character and what you want to pull from and things like that, which is cool. So the idea of like even something as simple as like, okay, we're going to implement Jury's feng shui instead of it being a super, now it's the V trigger. It makes perfect sense, makes absolute total sense. But it's just there's so much uniqueness built in that system where it's like, okay, you're really putting a lot of emphasis on the unique aspects and the really fun aspects of these characters that's locked behind a system, regardless of how you operate that system and how you actually build up resources to get to the point where you can use those things. And regardless of how much you care for it or not, and if you can get into it or not, if you like the game overall or not, because of that system, like I look at that meter and all I can think is the fun police. And at that point, I just go play a different game.
Yeah. You know, speaking of fun police, I love how like a lot more chipper we were talking about Killer Instinct about like half an hour ago.
You bring in Street Fighter, bro, and I just get pissed. I get mad.
Like, how can Ryu ever be good again?
Man, it was a spiral. It was just, like, it's cool, but let me pull out this laundry list and let me nitpick every little R.
But hey, but then you go load up Skullgirls and you can play Happy Birthday while you're doing a Happy Birthday.
I can pit people with steel chairs the right way.
Exactly. So, fuck it.
Like, with the amount of power creep that's happened in Street Fighter V, like, how is Ryu ever supposed to be a character again in that game?
They
like,
just
what does he do?
That's because they just keep on giving him parries and fucking. And you see Jimmy sitting here going, guys, it's staying light kick isn't that bad, I swear. It's way better this patch, guys.
I think they could have just given him the Ultra Instinct Goku parry for like V skill 2.
Just teleports behind you.
That's it. That's how you make that character good.
That's what Kage should have.
Oh yeah, he should. I've been playing. That's the only character I play now. Him and Seth. That's literally the only two characters I play. Kage and Seth now. That's a good time. That's fun.
Yeah.
Nope.
But
her Kage wasn't like.
Oh no, Kage sucked. When he first came out, everyone was like, guys, Kage's pretty good, and then everyone was like, no, he isn't. He doesn't have all that cool shit that, evil Ryu had? Yeah, let's just make it worse and then just make Akuma the better version. And it's like, damn, well, this is no fun. But then they buffed him and now he's...
So what, how is he different from Akuma? Why would I play him over Akuma?
You don't.
Oh.
That's the real question. That's the real answer. You don't. If you legitimately want to play one of those fucking Shadow Shoto characters, you play Akuma. But if you want to be sick, you play Kage.
Kage's normals are all stubby as fuck though.
Yeah, that's literally his biggest issue. That's literally his biggest issue. He doesn't and weird shit don't link right with other you know how most characters stand medium into crouch medium works? No, not with Kage. That shit don't work.
Is it just that every version of Ryu in that game is just
I guess they saw what happened to him in season 1 and were like, "Ooh, guys, we can't let that happen again."
They gave him I was so hyped when they announced him because I was like, "Bro, this is evil Ryu. This is the evil Ryu of this game." They even tried to give him the evil Ryu looking combos with the fucking overhead stomps too.
Yeah,
loved it.
And then it's it just feels so fucking bad to play him when it came out. I was so disappointed, dude.
He's way better now. He feels way better now. But
yeah, I haven't played that game in fucking a year now, probably.
But V-Trigger 2 is literally the greatest shimmy bait of all time. That's literally it. Other than that, Street Fighter's bad. KI is cool though. Play KI.
Hold on. One more thing about how Ryu sucked. In Marvel 3, remember how he couldn't even combo from his overhead to a launcher, but Akuma could?
Sure. Yeah. Akuma can hit you. Akuma can hit you with the tip of his fingernails. Chop, chop. Be fine. He's good. You in the air.
And he does. And you're taking so much damage from that overhead chop too.
At least 30%. I hate in Marvel.
Bro, my favorite simple setup in Marvel 3 to this day is with Akuma on incoming. You let the character fall in, you just dash under them and then overhead them when they land. And then go into a combo. That is the funniest fucking thing. I've seen Jaywong do it more times than I can count, and he hits everyone with it every time. It's so funny.
And he can level 1 fireball and level 1 again.
Yeah. You can get mad damage. You can get a whole combo. It's fucking great. It's funny as fuck. Dash under overhead launch combo. Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah, Ryu can't combo Tatsu into Tatsu or overhead into launcher.
Nope.
None of that now.
That's the everyday normal guy.
Yeah, there has not been a more interesting version of Ryu since if you guys played Marvel vs. Capcom 1, where you could transform into the other
that was just Capcom just fuck it, whatever, dude. Fuck it. And you transform into was it the sprite didn't change other than the color, right? The color of his gi would change.
It was a color. I think the Akuma one he gets sunburned a little bit.
You get this skin gets darker and he gets the red eyes and shit. Yeah, you would transform. You transform your moveset.
Man, when are they gonna add Evil Ken to a game again?
Yo, Violent Ken. Violent Ken.
I want Violent Ken, dude.
I still have never sat down and played fucking SVC Chaos, but I would really love to sit down and fucking I would still love to sit down with Shib and just be like, hey, Zero's in this game. Because it's it's like the Mega Man Zero version.
Is it?
Yeah, it's that game's super weird, dude. That game's super, super weird.
I started playing TVC to fuck around with Zero in that game.
That's just the X version.
Yeah.
Yeah, SVC Chaos.
And he's banned.
Yeah, he got banned real quick.
He's literally just does shit that no other character in the game can do, and he has infinites, and he has fucking one touch. It's the 100% combos, and just what the fuck?
What were y'all thinking? What the fuck?
Dude, TVC was
when it's on the Wii, I don't know, man.
TVC, oh god, what a good game.
I wish I had it on PS2.
Yeah, anything else but if it was just something successful.
That shit should have released along. Yeah, Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, and it would have.
That's a fucking. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, you ever dabble with Tekken there, Bobby?
Nah. Tekken again with the so many fighting games, the shit from 2D to 3D plane is extremely just large. It was just I actually what did competitive Soul Calibur more than I did like Tekken, like in any aspect. I could not understand Tekken at all.
That's,
I mean, like I
terrible.
Yeah, like I played to like some extent. Like I play a little bit of Bob, play a little bit of Gon Ryu. I don't really like
yeah.
Mishima shit.
That's why I'm very lucky in the aspect of when I started playing fighting games, I started with Tekken. So going from the 3D to 2D wasn't difficult. Eris said it pretty prominent. He said it around like 2013 or something. If you could play Tekken, you can play any fighting game. Because the game of Tekken will teach you so much about fundamentals, with Tekken specifically, but it will teach you so much about fighting games in general, spacing, how poking and fundamentals and with punishing works. There's no better game to teach you that than Tekken, because everything's on a slower scale in Tekken, where things in Street Fighter are -2 or anything minimal -3 that you can punish, right? In Tekken, the slowest thing, the fastest move in the game is -10. And that's just a jab. Like, that's the fastest move in the game. And it's like, okay, you got a lot of time, but you have to be fast, because 13 to 10 frames, 3 to 10 frames is not far. That's only 7 frames that you have to react to. It's not that far apart, but if you can react to it, you can react to something like a 3 frame or something -6, right? And punish with a crouch medium with it in Street Fighter 5. Like, it's just one of those things.
See, this is why I just mashed back 1 with Feng Wei. Like this is just that stop sign, man.
That's why I just picked Akuma and just like, hey, I remember how to do FADC combos.
Yeah,
Low forward Tatsu.
That's because when they made Akuma in that game, they weren't thinking. They were like, you know what? Let's just give him all the Street Fighter stuff. It'd be fine, right? Oh wait, no one can jab him out of the fucking air. That's crazy. We should probably do something about that. Next patch, maybe.
Maybe. Tune in to find out. Oh, that shit felt mad fun to do, though. I was like, yo, I actually could just do, like, one of my old FADC combos in Tekken with the Akuma.
I like Geese, too. I really like the cameo casts in Tekken 7.
They've done a really good job with it.
And everyone's good.
Yeah. All the cameo characters. Well, the worst one out of them all is Noctis, and you know why? It's because he plays the most like an actual Tekken character. In fucking Akuma, like Geese just does things that you shouldn't do in Tekken. Fucking max mode cancel. Fucking counter hit launcher. Hey, guess what? Normal hit launcher because I've got a max mode. Let's go, bitch. Akuma, hold this FADC, hold this fucking focus attack, hold this DP, bitch, you're trash. Meanwhile, Noctis is like down 4-2, fucking launch punishable. Oh no, he's dead.
It's like, what are you gonna bring from Noctis's game? It's like, well, he can warp strike.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, that's literally
and he's like, and all of his stuff in terms of his moves and everything are like very well representative. He looks fantastic. Like, once again, this character looks great in any game that's not his own. But like but like he doesn't have fighting game systems like the other characters that get brought over, and they're just like, yeah, do max mode and fucking FADCs and shit.
They
like, all right,
him like an actual Tekken character, and he fits great with the whole cast. Like, I know it's never gonna happen, but him being in like the next tag game would be amazing, because it'd be like, shit, you can do so much shit, but he's not going to be in it because they won't have the license anymore. That's why Gon isn't in this game.
Bro, fucking Lars is going to be fishing by himself, dude. It's going to be so sad.
Yeah, fishing by himself, dude. And then you've got Geese Howard, who is over here doing 10-hit fucking supers on your ass. And you're just like, well, damn, I just get to hold that. Ground throws? Oh, well, Geese has that in KOF 14, 13. Fuck it. Give it to him.
Yup. The pickup. That character is so good.
And he's fucking stand up. Die.
He's even as stiff as he is in like the other games.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's literally just a rich weeb. That's all he is.